Dear students, it is the fourth video for week 3 and we are covering the strategies for reading. Clear? In the previous video we talked about some tips on underlining the textbooks and reading. Here it is, taking notes on reading. Dear students, you have seen that often open book papers are given and assignments infrequent where the students have to read the books and put that information data in their report, especially in literature review or background study of any project that requires you taking extensive notes, because everything that you have to include and submerge in that report is from these reading books and text papers and newspapers and project reports and much more. Fine. How well we can read and take notes? These are some guidelines. I will simply read these guidelines, and where I feel implications I will try to explain it. Taking notes on reading requires the same skills that apply to the class notes. Clear? It is simply that the strategy applied to the class notes, that you listen to the teacher, identify the topic, identify the main concepts. Clear? Judge the relationship between the main concept and the sub concepts, and note those concepts in a keyword, key sentences, keywords and key mean hints. You make a T chart, fine. Draw diagrams, fine. This is a strategy you applied in the note taking in the class. Observation, reading and review. They are the three things: observation, reading and review. When to take notes from reading. Now the question is, when to take notes from the reading? When you need more extensive notes, then you can write in the margin of the text. These, for example, the margin is here and the margin is here, you see here, because all the books notepads do have the margin and you have to leave the margins, and the margins are also left on the books just for hints and notes. When you are reading from a library book, methods to use. But remember this, that do not write anything on the library books, rather than you just share your own page and write the notes and hints from them on them. One, outlining works best when material you are reading is organized. Okay, when the work is organized, for example a report or a chapter is well organized, information is well designed under headings, then note down those headings and beneath them write the keywords. Cornell methods. Divide paper notes on the right half left hand column for keywords and question summary at the bottom of the page. Mean you should draw, for example, this is a page and you should draw it like right and left columns. This page is for taking key points. Here you can write other things, and when the entire lecture is over, you can write the summary comparing both the ends beneath here. Fine. Paragraph form. Summarize what you read in your own words. Okay, whatever you have studied and contain in mind, do write in your own words, and that is necessary. Here you will be able to judge your writing ability or to retaining the sentence the concepts. Mind maps, diagrams, summaries of overlapping lectures and text material suggestions. Fine. That where the discussion is not well directed, the discussion is shuffling, from one point to another. For example, a teacher is talking about, for example, in a lecture method in social sciences, teachers have so many digressions. For example, a teacher is talking about lecture is about the movement of Pakistan, and the very next day teacher hit a point about the Muslim League, and from those Muslim leagues he came to PML Noon. From PML Noon he has shifted to corruption, and from corruption he has shifted to Imran Khan, and from Imran Khan and many. So these things, where the things are overlapping, it becomes very difficult for the students to understand it. Thereby, you have to use your own words and sentences and mind maps, diagrams, or even you have to summarize and exclude the unnecessary information. Style method of note taking should vary according to the material. Short story or poem, for example, note taking style different. For the science students is different, medical students is different, social sciences student is different. Read the entire thing once without taking notes. This is necessary. That reading first make for overall impression. Do not start taking notes at the first line. You just go and give a thorough reading. It is a skimming one, fine, so that you may have the idea in your mind, and later on if some complexity is going to apprehend you, you can settle it right that way. Write down your own immediate impressions. Whatever questions regarding the text sprites in your mind, you should write on them. Prepare piece, taking notes on characters, plots, etc. Clear? You should have piece of papers where you have find the different section. It is about the character, it is about the method, it is about the tool, this and that. Copy important formulas, terms. Remember this: formulas, terms, section, headings, dates, digits, figures. These things have to be crammed. It is not possible for any person to know everything, but sometimes certain things have to be reproduced in exams, like formulas, like digits, figures, amounts. Fine, these things. Second is recreate or note page number of important diagrams or figures. Wherever you copy a diagram or formula or report, you just reference with the book and the page, so that if later on you have to consult that book, it will be very easier for you rather than uh, wandering for nothing and heading strong towards other books and wasting time. Fine. Reading speed and effectiveness. This is what that reading speed matter a lot. Reading for understanding, reading for depth, in-depth meanings, that matters a lot. Clear? So, reading speed is clear. When time demands and purpose permits, you must possess the ability to switch gears, absorb the ideas and information in the books at more rapid speeds. Clear? This high level fast reading, however, should not be interpreted as applicable to all types of reading situations. Cause of slow reading speeds. That why uh, slow reading speeds are applied. Individual variables, intelligence, motivation, physiological and psychological traits. These are the causes why a person is not able to read properly, or sometimes he is unable to mentally process that information in the mind. They owing to certain aphasias or other problems. Fine. Deficiencies in vocabulary and comprehension level. This is another problem, and it is really very one that the students are unable, and they lose their interest in reading just because they have the less vocabulary and they have very lower level of comprehension. Inflexibility, tendency to read everything the same way regardless of what it is. Mean some person try to read each and everything at the same way. Look, reading a newspaper is different, whereas a story is different, poem is a different, and a mathematical word problem is different. You cannot apply each and every technique on everyone. Clear? You need different things. Next is passivity, failure to become involved with the material being read. Clear? And material being misprinted, pirated versions, less attracted. These things lose the interest or motivation. Unnecessary and habitual regression or rereading because of the lack of concentration. Lack of concentration is very worst thing with the readers, because once you read a sentence and it is hardly printed in your mind and you have lost its concepts, you have to reread it, and it's a drawback. It is a form of aphasia, or it is due to Alzheimer. Fine. Slow reaction time to reading material, and normally students in competitive exams and GMAT, GAT, they fail because the time is very short and the student have physical weakness in eye, physical mind, clear readiness, concentration. These all are the important points to be mind. Fine. These things have been discussed. Inshallah, in the next video, the remaining concepts will be discussed. Thank you very much.